Good morning, everybody. This is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship. Today we're going to talk about rearing. It's a situation that occurs with our horses. It can be both on the ground as well as in the saddle, but the one that tends to scare everybody the worst is when a horse rears up while we're in the saddle. And first and foremost, I'm going to come to the horse's defense here, because I've heard everything from, well, the horse has learned to rear, he's spoiled, he's just trying to get out of work, and he just doesn't want to do whatever it is I'm asking him to do. Well, I'm going to ease your mind here just a little bit. Very rarely does any horse like to do anything that we ask them to do. Because if you think about it, what we ask them to do is totally unnatural for them, and it's just nothing that they would normally do on their own. So almost everything you ask your horse to do is not going to be something that they want to do. And you can fool yourself all day long. Says, my horse just loves to go on trail rides. My horse just loves to run. It just loves to do whatever. Maybe compared to some other things, if those were its choices, go on a trail ride or get his butt worked off in an arena, yeah, he might prefer the trail ride. But reality is, outside of being a horse, there's not a whole lot that we ask them to do that they like. So I hope that just eases your mind in that area. The other part is, and I'm going to defend somebody here when they say, well, a horse learned to rear. You're darn right they learned to rear, because rearing up in their world, outside of two horses sparring and playing together or fighting, is unbelievably unnatural. They don't rear up for any other reason other than playing and rearing, or playing and sparring with each other. And when I say sparring, I mean sometimes I just mean a full-out fight, maybe between two stud horses or whatever the case may be, of course, at a certain time of year. Therefore, when a horse learns to rear, they learn inadvertently, and here's what everybody has to learn. Horses learn from the release of pressure. All right, so we inadvertently trap the horse. In other words, I'm sure most people don't do it on purpose, but we trap the horse, asking the horse to do something. Let's say back up, bend, or flex, or whatever it may be, and we trap the horse, and the horse still feels trapped. We keep asking, we keep turning up the pressure, we keep asking for more. The horse, in that trap sense, is beginning to get desperate, start thinking, what can I do to get out of this? Oftentimes, because we are so fearful of a horse rearing up, the horse might accidentally stumble upon maybe half rearing up, just kind of elevating a little bit. And what do? Whatever we were doing to cause all the pressure in the first place, I bet you $1 to a donut you release that pressure. And in the horse's mind, you have to understand how they learn. They learn from the release of pressure, which means when this horse stumbles across the idea because they're trapped and they've run out of all the other answers, they try to go forward, you pull on them. They try to go sideways, you pull on them. They try to elevate their head, you pull on them. They've already got their head elevated, you pull on them. So they're out of ideas, and they accidentally stumble upon maybe rearing up. And when they do, you release that pressure, and the horse goes, really? That's all you want me to do is rear up? So the next time, because you're stubborn and you, by golly, you want to get what you want because you're going to be the leader, you're going to be the boss, right? So you pull on them again, trying to achieve whatever it is you were trying to achieve a little while ago, and you get the horse trapped again, and I'll be darned, the horse tries to do that rearing up thing the second time. This time the horse goes, wow, first time I got released when I tried to rear up, third time or second time I got released when I tried to rear up. So what do? We try it a third time, and the horse gets better at it. Now we're getting convinced, and hopefully by this time the horse hadn't full-blown reared up or reared up and flipped over backwards with you. But either way, the horse has just learned from you that rearing up is an option that they're going to get a reward for, okay? So all right, we're going to let all the cats out of the bag right here. I'm going to go back to a quote I learned from Jack Brainerd a long time ago, and I'm sure he got it from the medical field or something else, but it says basically, in order to effect a cure, you first have to find the cause. All right, so what causes the horse to rear up? Number one, horses can't rear up if they're going forward. They can only rear up when they're standing still or going backwards, okay? So if we know that, then we can solve the problem of rearing up by working more intently on the things that really matter, such as forward motion, go forward, Move forward. Keep your horse moving forward. Now, granted, that might not necessarily solve your backing up problem if that's what you're working on before, but you can work on backing up and get the horse very proficient at backing up and very safe at backing up on the ground. But in the saddle, the most important thing I have to emphasize to you that you need to learn and your horse needs to learn is forward motion and the control of forward motion. And the very last thing my concern is the stopping of forward motion. Without the mastery of the first two, forward motion and the control of that forward motion, I don't have anything to stop in the first place. So I'm going to work on those. I'm going to get the horse soft, light. When I say soft, I mean soft from the nose, the neck, the rib cage. I can move those feet around very soft, very light, with the least amount of effort on my part and the most understanding on the horse's part. I can get all that done through working on forward motion. And then later in time, I can begin to work on those horses' feet moving at an unnatural position, such as backwards, you see. Unnatural meaning the fact that, well, yeah, horses back up in their world, but maybe no more than 2 or 3 steps at a time at the very most. We ask for horses to back up with pressure in their face, which again is that trap. So we have to teach them that it's not a trap, but the answer is, and here's the answer to so many things, the answer is the path of least resistance. We have to teach the horse that if there's something blocking him from going forward, then perhaps the resistance or the path of least resistance is moving backwards. So for the horses that have, or the people that have inadvertently caused the problem for a horse to rear up, work on forward motion. Don't worry about the horse rearing up. Work on forward motion. Maintain forward motion. I know this is going to probably trigger some emails and some responses, and I hope that it does, because most people have had this happen before, and the answer that I usually get here is, oh, but you don't know my horse. I bet you I do. May not know yours specifically, but I bet I've seen situations that you're referring to. I'm going to be adamant about saying rearing up for a horse is a learned behavior that they learn, hopefully inadvertently from us, unless, of course, it's a trick horse or a Hollywood horse. And it's usually a situation where the horse feels that that's their only answer because they're being trapped. So don't trap them. Work on forward motion, work on control of forward motion, and get those horses nice and light and soft. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys a little bit today. And until next time, this is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship.